All right, guys, I'm gonna do a quick video here of my urban antenna setup. So kind of a covert urban setup. So we got the station here. I got it ran up, hung up here with the dual post BNC. And then I just ran this 40-meter antenna all across through here, down both sides. This setup is not that great, but I did get one reply on JS8 call, and that's about all I've gotten so far. And then I tried to get it to reply again, and it didn't. So anyway, just wanted you guys to see this urban setup here. Covert urban setup. All right, since I got quite a few new followers, I just want to kind of talk about making a contact or a direct contact. All right, so the T here, this is our antenna. Most ham radio guys, all they care about is making a contact, okay? So they'll send out a signal, they'll call CQ or something, and this is the signal going out. Each one of these circles represent a person, and they'll call CQ, and one of them will answer. And so then they'll count that as a contact, okay? In an emergency situation, let's say you were in the mountains, you had your HF setup, you know, and you needed an emergency, you had an emergency, you got out, and you got a hold of this guy. Well, you could tell this guy where you were at, what county, what state, county, who you should call. He could call 911 or call someone, not his 911, but call someone for help, and they could come get you. That's great, okay? But what we're more worried about in this realm is a direct contact. And how that looks is we've got Team A, Team B, and the talk, or our base, or our homestead, whatever. All right? Team A needs to get a hold of the talk. All right, so this is their antenna. So a direct contact is Team A trying to get a hold of the talk. Team B or Team A trying to get a hold of Team B. We got a mountain or some terrain feature, or we're 40 miles away. That's what I say when I talk about a direct contact. I'm not just trying to get a hold of an unknown over here. I'm trying to get hold of one of these two guys. And that's where the INVIS antenna comes in. All right. And just so you guys know, an INVIS antenna is nothing more than a dipole at 1/4 to 1/8 inch wavelength off the ground. And it can be lower. I've had success with it way, way lower than that on 40 meters. That is also going to depend, though, on the day, the band conditions. All right. So you might one day be able to get a good INVIS contact with the talk on 40 meters. The next day you try, you can't. So you might have to jump to 60 or 80 meters. But, so that's what I just kind of want to get across is what a direct contact is. I'm going from point A, I'm trying to contact point B. I'm not trying to contact anyone here. All right. Yes, people will be able to hear what you're saying. That's just the nature of the beast with HF, but we want to make direct contact. So when I'm out and I'm saying I'm trying to do a direct contact, I'm Team A trying to talk back to the talk, which is my house radio that will auto reply to me. And that's the purpose of using JS8 call both ways, that I can get an instant feedback of whether or not that radio heard me and whether or not I got direct contact with that radio. All right, I think that's about the best explanation for direct contact. All right, I keep getting asked what kind of HF radio rig someone should buy. If you're not planning on going out in the field, my recommendation is a 100-watt transceiver. First, usually I recommend the ICOM 718. It's really simple. There's not a lot of menus. You're not going to get lost in the menu. It's fairly big. You can see it compared to the Xiegu here. The 718, the ICOM 7200 is another good radio. The ICOM 706 is another one. Also, I have that one, and it'll do UHF and VHF also, and 6 meters. You're going to have to find them on eBay or somewhere used. They don't make them anymore. If you're really wanting to go out in the field and do field work, obviously a small radio, a QRP radio, I would not recommend the 6100. I've had tons of problems with it doing digital. So the 705, the ICOM 705 would be my recommendation. I think that radio is obviously a way better radio. But you may want an amp, also. I don't have an amp for mine. But if you're just getting started, I definitely I'd definitely start with a 100-watt radio, because a QRP radio, you're going to be quite irritated at the lack of contacts you make with 10 watts. It can be done, but it's not near as easy. Even with 100 watts, a lot of times you'll be irritated. Just that's the way HF is. All right, today I want to talk about antenna building, mainly half wavelength antennas. First thing we got to know, though, we need to know the formulas for antenna building. All right, so 936 divided by the frequency will give you one full wavelength. 468 divided by the frequency will give you half a wavelength, and that's what we're after. I like to use 234 divided by the frequency. That actually gives me the quarter wavelength, which gives me each leg of the dipole or ground plane, jungle antenna, wherever we're building. So for this example, we're going to use the 234 divided by the MERS frequency, 151.820, which ends up being 1.54. We times that by 12 because we want to do this one in inches. It gives us 18.49 inches. We'll also use 234 divided by 7.078, which is the 40 meters JS8 call frequency, which gives us 33.6 feet. That's how long one leg will be. So let's kind of look at this as an example. All right, right here we have a jungle or ground plane antenna, basically the same thing. All right, so if you look at this, we already know it's 18.5, so each leg of these would be 18.5 inches. This leg would be 18.5, this one, and this one. All right, that's how long each one of those would be. If we're looking at a dipole, I just wrote 33 feet since it's 33.06. Each leg would be 33 feet. All right, total would be 66 feet. Kind of an actual real life example is this right here. I did this for 70 centimeters. It's actually cut for 460 megahertz. All right, this one's a freestanding ground plane antenna. Out here in the desert where we don't have any trees to hang these from, a freestanding one comes in nice. These dual post BNC adapters are a must. You might need to have multiple ones of these in your kit. Right here I have an example of a 6-meter dipole. Right, it's tied up, but we made this in the TACCOMS class when we were operating on 6 meters, 50 megahertz. All right, now if we took this one here, we took the legs off on the negative side, all but one leg, we actually would have a 70 centimeter dipole. It's no different, just what polarization we're running at. All right, that's a little bit on antenna building. So I'm out messing with antennas today, and I'm working at 6 meters. Trying to see some distance I can get out here. Right now, what I got set up is a 6-meter jungle or ground plane antenna. Where I am communicating at, it's gonna be hard to see where that rain is falling there. It's actually on you can see that mountain right there. It's on the other side of that mountain, so it's straight 20 miles away. I had good luck with this. I actually had good luck with the roof mount antenna. I made a V sloper with resistors on the end of it, and I did not have very good luck with that. And then a horizontal dipole, or a vertical dipole, I had zero luck with that. All right, here's a sloping V with resistors in here. Both sides, it's got it aimed back over there towards that mountain. Reception actually is worse with this antenna, and transmission's worse with this antenna. So I get a worse signal report, and the signal coming back is actually worse than with the ground plane or even the roof mount, the magnet mount on the truck. All right, so yesterday I got some advice from guys on Instagram, so I thought I'd come out here and try it. First thing was have a piece of wire after the resistor, so I did that. Second piece of advice was to have a balun. I've got a 1-to-1 balun up here. All right, so I tried it. First I tried it with no resistors, just a sloping V aimed, no response. I tried it with just the resistors aimed towards my station, no response. Then I added the wire, no response. I'm actually closer, probably by 5 miles. My station's over there. My home station picked up my rooftop antenna and give me a negative 12 dB back. So I wanted to make sure this worked, so I made a ground plane antenna out of this, and I got a +6 back from the home station. I was monitoring the home station. I got a +17 dB from the rooftop antenna, and then I got a +03 with this antenna. So that's a huge reduction in gains. I don't know what's going on here, guys, but I'm telling you, I don't think this sloping V is worth a shit. All right, I'm out testing here before work. I got some interesting results, I think. So I got this linked dipole here, and it's about, what, 3 feet off the ground, 40 meters. And then I put a radiator that's 5% longer than it on the bottom to try to help boost the INVIS signal. I got nothing off this. I mean, I could receive, but I really wasn't, nobody was hearing me. Also, it tuned up good. I think it was like 1 to 5 or whatever. Jumped onto the InFed, the QRP InFed antenna, and actually made contact with the home station 20 miles away. So, and had a few other stations. So just kind of some interesting results there. Obviously this thing needs to probably be higher, but I just tried setting it up like this. All right, I had someone ask me what you could do with the digital scanner, you know, other than listen to the what's in your database, local emergency services, businesses, whatnot, which is what I mainly do. But one thing you guys can do here, and I tried to tell them, is you can set it on a frequency limit and listen to what's going on, and you can get a baseline of your whole area wherever you're at. Especially this Uniden right here will do a whole spectrum suite, so it'll, everything it can scan, it will scan, and you can find out what frequencies are running in your area. But right now what I'm doing is I'm scanning 2 different sets of bands. So I'm basically searching for the Baofeng brothers, you know, guys who run in Baofeng. So this one here is scanning the UHF frequencies for the Baofengs, and this one's scanning the VHF frequency for the Baofeng. So if by chance I had some guys running around here Baofenging around my house, I could catch them. I'd hit them. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, if you're running P25 unencrypted, these guys are gonna get you. If you're running DMR unencrypted, these guys are gonna get you. I mean, I hate to hurt your feelings, but if you're not running encryption, I'm gonna get to hear what you said with these two. A little bit of an addition to that is the Alinco DJX11. It's an analog receiver, but it does everything. These scanners have a little bit, they skip some frequencies. This thing does everything. You're not going to understand what's going on, but you'll know you have some sort of RF around you. This is an old school analog scanner. What I would do with that is I'd program the FRS, GMRS, and MERS into that and just run it as a Bubba scanner. So there's going to be a lot of people running FRS, GMRS, and MERS. So you might as well have one dedicated scanner that just runs that, and that's basically what that one's for. But for these ones, you know, that's what I would do. I'd pick some bands, let them run, see who I pick up. All right.